Yay! Look, you would be surprised who was here, not only on time, but early. Significantly
So
early.
if this episode's all messed up, it's
no,
we know
like
why.
I was here early. Like the intro played correctly. Is this like the sign of the end
cat
times?
guy's fault.
Like, well, guys, it's over. We did one perfect live chat. Like, just wrap it up. Like, that's the end.
Doc Cypher says probably should get Home Depot or Lowe's to sponsor a live one time for their pro referral programs, specifically for local deck builders. Then Jersey Mike's Firehouse or Subway for sandwiches.
This is a good.
Hey,
idea.
if you want to line that up, nobody will talk to us. We're insignificant and untrustworthy because of the masks. So.
We've mentioned thin line OnlyFans. I realized it wouldn't work. Only time things got hot was when Walsh did the thermal camera video. What about feet?
I think there was even parts of that video I had to take out. I was like that's not going to be appropriate. Like I have to zoom in, like up higher.
The Club Welsh.
Good grief. It's funny. It is funny we talk about sponsors. And,
Harry's here, dude. Harry.
32.
Either some wizards out there, wizard. Then these.
I feel like I should disclose this right now. I don't have a drink tonight. I'm not going to drink tonight. So.
You work tomorrow?
I only have water. Yeah, I mean, and I'm trying something different. So.
Harry says been inundated with work these last weeks. It's not tax season. Don't lie to us.
Yeah, what are you doing? What is an accountant doing in July that they're busy with? Like, just suddenly, oh no, like, I got to fix all my taxes now.
Mr. King Arthur says the happy blanket. I don't get it. But welcome to
the thermal reference.
Yeah.
I was telling Joe just before we started that he was saying that he wants to be a lawyer, or he should have been a lawyer. And I was telling him in Washington State, they just removed, in order to practice in Washington State, you don't have to do the bar exam. They're hurting for lawyers that bad.
Could you imagine Joe like giving advice to somebody? Be like, and this guy's like, all right, so I was traveling. He's like, I know, right? Like, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have to have any further education, or like what are we talking high school diploma here? Because I might be in. Like, I might be able to do this.
He just like loses every case. Like, I gave him my best, guys. I gave him my best. Like,
Shadowman with a $5 super chat says, Joe, my wallet thanks you. I just built 2 boomsticks for friends at work.
Heck nice. Yeah.
Heck awesome. Yeah, man. That's awesome.
Shadowman, one of the people that got all the cool deals on the other website when we got booted off of YouTube that one night.
Harry, growing pains in the business. Ooh, it's not good.
You mean from the Discord? On the Discord chat, yeah, I remember.
So I would ask if anyone's on Rumble. I haven't seen it in the last little bit, but Croak says X is still working. If anyone's on Rumble, could you try commenting on Rumble? See if it.
While you're watching,
see the comments here.
While you're watching the 5G is causing cancer videos, check ours too. It's like that's all that's on. That's all that's on Rumble. Like, okay.
Mr. King Arthur says you have to be the flop sweat attorney from Scrubs.
That'll work.
Doc Cypher, Gatorade for me on the drink broke the 33:30 mark for my 5 mile finally. Ooh. My gut wouldn't tolerate anything else right now. Hey, Rumble is working. Crook says
33 minutes for 5 miles? Who is that?
Doc Cypher? That's
33:30
He
mark.
Must be young. He's young. He's young. He's young, or one of those people that are naturally built like a twig.
Yeah, like how fast?
Harry Walsh doing some night vision classes next week. First one. Also, maybe getting an e-bike to ride around on at night under the NVG. Dude, if you could, please record that.
So, something I want you guys to...
Especially static. I want to see, like, the full impact and you flying.
Prepper Book Club coming in from Rumble. What's up, bud? Yeah, I like that. I like that logo on Rumble.
That is pretty cool. Nice. It's new. So, and something I want to share that me and Jason are going to be working on. Well, we had a class we were going to do with HRT that kind of fell through, and we've able to piece something together that we're going to do some final touches on, where we're going to do a little bit more of a night vision stuff, but we're going to focus more on the gear side. Like, instead of just the tool of just a gun, it's more of like, hey, you need to actually do something. Like if Joe told me like, hey Walsh, we got to get from this building to the other, or like, hey, we need to find this guy. How do you use the rest of your tools? Like, how do you use your illuminators? How do you use your task lights? A lot of stuff I don't know. So if there's things or tools you would like to learn how to use along with us, then just throw them out there and we'll try to throw it into the scenario. We're gonna try and build like a mock scenario to use a bunch of this stuff too. So
yeah,
kind of where I head.
I was telling him about, I don't know if you had the scenario at C-Talk, Joe, but there was like a team, they had that mock village and you had to get your folks through the mock village to the ammo can and then pick up the ammo can and your whole team has to get out of the village.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like something like that, where if they
while
were
taking direct fire.
Yeah, while taking fire. But if they were to give us a scenario like that, like, okay, this is what we know. Your bad guy's wearing a red shirt, right? Like, so like, how do you identify the bad guy under nods? You're going to have to go from point A to point B to point C and then reverse it after you accomplish your mission and you can't be seen or whatever the case may be.
Or after a certain point, like you can't talk or something. Like you have to use different hand signals. Like you got, like at a certain point, you have to keep communication to a minimum. You know, all those different things. Trying to mix all those different pieces in.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, I think we're gonna come up with. But same with what he's talking about with e-bikes is also doing some like traveling. Like, okay, hey, at this point you have to travel to an extraction or you have to travel to location.
Like I'm in traveling. I'm in.
Yeah. You said
dude, I'm definitely in on this one because he's gonna get stopped if he gets seen. If he's in full kit with nods on an e-bike, he's getting pulled over, and none of that illegal and all of it just suspicious. Like I'm 100% in on this.
Oh, we're doing
this is my retirement plan.
Yeah,
like
I think there's some private.
I'm sorry, taxpayers, but
I think we're gonna stay off the street. But I think there's some private property we're gonna try and get on.
Yeah. Totally off topic, but Mission 7 Tactical just posted a killer deal in Discord. So Mountain House has their number 10 cans of freeze-dried food for 50% off. So if you're looking to stock up on freeze-dried food for the end of the world that we all know is coming, you get 50% off right now at Mountain House.
Also unrelated, but Croak did remind me because he just messaged me on Discord. Those of you who were interested in the Bull Tac video where like QVO, there was like this accuracy issues with it. I don't know if you guys saw this. Like he did this video, he did accuracy testing with it. Come to find out he was using jacketed rounds, which causes issues with accuracy. QVO did a follow-up, and also my video this weekend is the same testing. I hated doing that test because it's a stupid putting a pistol in a stand, which is.
Did you take the ladder to the range?
I should have. Like it probably would have worked just as good. Like I was complaining the whole time. My back hurt just trying to like line everything up. I'm like, this is stupid. And at the end, I stand up and just shoot like a normal person. I'm like, let's just do that. Like, like why?
If you had a ladder.
Yeah.
If you had a ladder, it would have worked. That's the most hilarious part. Of course, he didn't take one because then he would have had to eat crow.
Yeah. Dude, look at this. Doc Cypher says IVs and drip rates under NVs. I still think is the most nerve-wracking thing I've done so far. Dude, how hard would that be? Like putting in.
We're not doing that.
Walsh, don't move.
Yeah,
don't move.
It's like my eye. Like, bro, you're not even close.
None of us have any training. Like, we're just jabbing it like an EpiPen. Like, is this how you do it?
Nope. Finally, like sprays everywhere. Got it.
Got it.
So 076 Liberty goes to Brownell's ladder. It was funny how many people didn't even get that joke. Like, Joy,
dude, I love it,
here. Yeah, remember, on a zero.
Did you take the ladder to the range? What?
I still want a shirt for Joe that says like you had me at Traveler.
And just you could easily do that. You just have a windy road, and it says "You had me at traveling."
It's just a road. Yeah, you had me at Traveler, and it's like,
I'd rock it.
Yeah,
it depends. If it has American flag on it.
Oh yeah, we do it all. It have TLD, the flag. Yep. You had me at Traveler. Yeah. So is that the one of the new?
I'd rock it. What, this one?
Yeah, when did you get that one?
This is one of the newest one. They're the only one I have. This is my Gundam and Jimothy.
Oh, that's fairly new though.
Yeah, I bought it right when you made it. I had it before you even went public with it.
Oh.
But it's my only one, so then, I'm a one-shirt wonder. I only wear this shirt to the lives.
Everything. Did Jason just decide to give up on?
He was like, I'm done with this.
This is ridiculous. What are we supposed to be doing right now then? Because he left us. Videos from
Yeah. What were the videos?
I don't know.
Jason Blair Witch Project video in the daytime. Like, since he's not here, then I can roast him on it. Oh, dang, I like that.
Dude, for some reason, my internet just disconnected. I messaged on Discord if I thought we lost the stream.
Nope, still good.
Nope.
Fuck you.
No.
Joe is about to do your daytime Blair Witch Project.
What? I didn't say that. Didn't you need to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, just for a second.
Yeah.
I really did. I like that it's a different style where he's doing something totally different than just normally.
Yeah, I liked that, but it was so funny to see how out of shape Jason is because he let the camera know. Because he's just walking, dude, and the mic's too close to his mouth. And I have that disorder with the chewing and stuff. I'm like, man, I'm gonna tell Jason that he should have just like did like 2 sentences and then cut to him sitting on the top of this and talking, or stop, take 5, catch your breath, and then start walking again and record right then to make it look better. But I was like, this is daytime Blair Witch Project. That's what this is.
Jason was like, maybe I do more. I talk more going down the hill.
Yeah. So the other thing that I didn't talk about, my tripod, because I was recording on the GoPro, my tripod broke. So I didn't have the extension of having the tripod. It was just some cheap Amazon one. So it was like my arm extension was as far as I go. I have a new tripod, so. But yeah, the other thing
mics are really good at picking up. Oh, go ahead. No. It needs to be in the moment. But mics are really good about picking up sound. So I would just I don't know, bring it a little bit away, down here somewhere. Yeah. No, but I was laughing at you at the beginning. But honestly, all jokes aside, I did like the video. And I think Jason, right. And I like the fact that Jason found a different use for what's it called instead of, recon or whatever. Yeah. Whatever people want to pretend that they use them for.
Recon.
That's what he kept saying in the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
076 says, I was wondering why messages were popping up disappearing. Yeah, that was my bad.
Hey, did you
Croak says, did Joe see me sitting on Walsh's steps video last month? No, he never did. I told him what you did, and he almost threw up.
I like how.
Oh, did he do the lip smacking crap? Gross, dude.
On the steps, and he was just going.
No, dude. No. I had a good idea for him to do, but.
That's what you said to do. That was your idea.
No, that wasn't.
Yeah, I'm
absolutely not. So gross.
Hey, I like how in the comments, Zach Fett's talking about how he has to moderate every comment that's coming that has swear words, but not some of them apparently. Yeah, some of them are okay.
It's funny. There was a gaming channel the guy did a video. This gaming YouTuber. Huge channel who did a video. He's like, YouTube is striking, this is ridiculous. Their terms and conditions changed, and now if you say a curse word within the first 7 seconds or something, they strike your video. It's like, but that wasn't that way when I made that video. I'm like, welcome to GunTuber world, dude.
Yeah. Cry me a river
randomly, it's just random. Hey, did
Zach
you see him?
Says, but the F word or female dog is inappropriate. Try that.
No.
Try that.
Just type those.
Let's not.
No.
That works.
It worked.
Yeah, and that was the end of that.
And that was it.
Hey, did you see me?
See y'all on Discord, guys.
Being a little bit a little bit of a jerk with the short I did on the Garantham video.
Oh, I didn't think you were a jerk. The one about the Relv.
I just made sure to go out of my way to poop on that thing.
Yeah, the Relv, and you said the bees is so much better. Dude, I don't think I've never heard you except for spitting raisins. I've never heard you super mean,
brutal. Yeah. Even Joe was like that GBRS video. Was like, that was a pretty good way to be mean. Some people are like, dude, you were pretty cruel to them.
You're like, who wants these spaghetti straps?
I don't think these are within regulations.
So
Mm-mm.
it's funny. I did that video about that short about T-Rex arms ripping off "Live the Creed," right, with the
Got good
garbage
reviews.
rock.
Yeah,
And
Did you post that? Did you go
Yeah.
yeah,
live
I
with
did.
that?
I
it
posted
got
it.
good
No, I
views.
didn't see it.
Yeah, I got good
I
views.
didn't see it.
So
I need to go talk trash.
I won't say who, but I had a company text a guy from a company text me, and he was like, "Dude, what's up with your T-Rex arms? Like, what did I miss?" So I sent him the link to the original Instagram post where the dude from T-Rex arms was like, "Yeah, this is the Live the Creed pouch. We love it, so
Yeah.
we just copied it." Um,
Yeah.
and so he was like, "Oh, dude, like, can you FaceTime real quick?" And so we video chatted, and he was like, yeah, like we made one that looks exactly the same." And I was like, "Yeah, I get that. You know, it's a great design, but here's the difference: is that T-Rex Arms was like, hey, Live the Creed, we want to be a dealer for you. Can you send us products so we can review them to see if they would be a good fit for our customers?" And they were like, "Yeah, absolutely. Here you go. That'd be awesome. Thanks, guys." And then they got ghosted, and then they just straight up ripped off their pouch. That was dirty.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Okay, we got a question here. Ofec Tubal says, "What's better, a Ram quadruple 556 insert with Agilite pincer single on the belt, or Agilite pincer placard with 2 pincer singles on the belt? I have to carry at least 5." I like the pincer placard.
What's the Ram? Is that the Shaw one?
Oh, I think so. Is Ram's the Shaw, right?
Yeah. So I will say, me and Tactical Jawa just recently got the Ram quad. I don't think it works well. I'm probably the biggest fan of the triple that there probably is. I love that design. I was super excited about it so much. I got the quad. It just doesn't work really well. You have to expand the placard system all the way out, and even then it like starts to collapse in on itself. It just doesn't work nearly as well. So if you need 5, I would say to do the Agilite 3 and 2 on the belt. If not,
Yeah,
4.
the other one, if you want them on your chest, like in a chest rig type of thing, or for a plate carrier, the other one that we don't talk a lot about is Tracer Tactical, like their Scout harness that you can attach into their plate bags, and I think you could fit 7. It's super slim.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you'll have 3 on the front, 2 on either side. That's a good one too. But I'm a fan of the pincher placard. That's what I have on mine.
Yeah, Bees has one kind of like the Scout rig too. So, but if you want more of a carrier and a placard, more of a placard setup, though, I would probably do the pincer. If anything, you could do. It's kind of that's a good segue. The second layer Molle that we just talked about on last week's video, you could put one sideways or one extra or whatever you need to. I would recommend putting the other 2 on your belt. I think having the goofy stuff on your thing isn't probably the best from a duty standpoint. It's fun for range stuff, but realistic stuff that maybe kind of screwy. Look at me, Joe. Look how adult I'm being in my advice.
I know, dude.
Croak says another option is to use expander wings under the bund up front. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, and that's normally like I think maybe Joe taught me that, but I try to do 3 up front, 1 on strong side, which is like the last one I get to, and then 1 quick one on the belt. That way you have your 5.
Ooh,
yeah.
Here's Israel says, Walsh, any word from Grim Hunter? It's a sore subject in the TLD household right now.
So we do.
Is it?
So it's not. It's hard. It's hard. Grim has a very small operation that's become very popular. So we've grown up with him for a very, very long time too.
Yeah, I think it's important for people to know that he had an employee. Is it okay to share this?
Probably not.
I don't know. Probably not. We'll just say there was somebody who was completing orders, and was marking them as complete, screwed up everybody's orders, screwed up the whole system. So orders that were complete were not complete. They were just marked that way. So it caused a huge mess, and this is what caused Grim Hunter kind of fall behind. So I'm hoping he's getting everything caught up. He just has so much interest in his products that he's just constantly playing catch up. So it's kind of what we love Grim Hunter. We love working with them. We love doing stuff with them. But it's also like, hey, like, dude, play catch up. Get your system up and running before we kind of unleash the masses to buy.
Yeah, we don't want to keep telling everybody like this is great and you should get it, and then they can't because no matter how great it is.
Yeah. And I still run his stuff. I run a ton of his stuff. You guys see me showing off all the time, but it is harder stuff to get. So that's one of the challenges with it, where it's like, hey, is that the best option? It is, but you have to wait, and it's a significant amount of time.
Yes. But like I've said in the past, like my axle belt that everybody was crying about, like, oh, it took 3 months, 4 months. So what, dude?
Yeah, but I think the issue here is like some people it's like a year. You know, we're coming up on like 11 or 12 months.
And Israel, I think I remember you had shot us an email about asking to help follow up on an order. I think I still saw it. I apologize. I know what you're asking about. I still need to. I just haven't had a chance. I apologize. We got buried. I will though. Jason reminded me of it, and I'm like, yep, I'm on it. And then I just fell through the cracks. So I will.
We'll figure it out.
So we're doing the same thing.
Yeah. Mr. King Arthur says, I use the HRT Maximus so I can use different magazines with the Velcro inserts than I use on my Agilite Zero. Key Zero. He's also saying unobtainium gear.
Yeah. Dude. So look at
but you have to have 5 mags on your kit or 5 mags total.
I think he said total because he's willing to put some on his belt.
So just do. I mean, I can't decipher everything that you read. Like my mind doesn't work like your guys when you start throwing out all these brands and this and that. And
so
run 3 on your kit and 1 on your belt and 1 in your gun. Like, are you not counting the 1 in your gun?
5 extras. So his options that he had asked about is, do you do a 4 series across your chest and have 1 on your belt? Or do an Agilite placard, which holds 3 on your chest, and then have 2 on your belt.
I'm with what they said.
Yeah.
Do 3 on the
front. You do 3, and 3 on the front. Ooh, 1,
2 on the belt.
That's hard. It depends what all you have on your belt. But sure, 2 on the belt and 4 in your backpack.
Yeah.
What backpack?
Croak.
Exactly, because nobody brings a damn backpack, dude. This is stupid.
So Croak put a picture in Discord. OFEC. I'll put a link in a comment. So if you're up for it, join our Discord. Croak has a picture of his, I think it's his K19, with a pincer placard on the front and an expander wing under the cummerbund. So he gets 4 on there while still staying minimalist, and then having he actually has 2 pincer single pouches on his belt.
And that's I almost always run the 4th strong side under cummerbund. Like I run strong side under cummerbund, and then right side is radio. My weak side.
Yeah, there you go. Radio. Look at that. Just like that.
3 on the kit, 2 on the belt.
Mm-hmm. See, that's how he's running right now. Yeah. I think
that's how I run them.
Yeah, and it all depends on how you want to. Like, is that one too far back or anything else? Yeah.
Doc Cypher, tier plate carriers and shellback are potions too. Depends how you like your setups though.
Options too. But yes, it definitely says potions. I'm pretty sure he meant options.
No,
he corrected it later.
Wizard.
Phoenix Dawn.
So Mr. King Arthur says, I keep 10 30-round P mags loaded with 75 grain 5.56 at any given time, regardless, ready to grab at any given time. In what, like a bandolier or something? What do you have it in? Is it a bag?
75 grain?
Dude, you know what? Like you reading that and then saying bandolier. Okay, you know how in all the 80 movie, they had like the belt fed rounds and you made either 1 or 2? Yeah. We need to do that only with AR-15 mags. Like all the way around your body. All the way around, dude.
I could probably make a call right now and make that happen. Like we could do
that's what we need in our life, dude. That's what we need in our life.
How crazy would it be if you dressed up like dressed up as Chewbacca
with a buckle?
Like with Chewbacca for Halloween, but you have an AR bandolier, like
yes, dude. Yes, dude.
Like they're all AR, like metal AR mags too, like metal mags all the way around.
I need that in my life.
Okay, Croak says wizard means you have to drink the potion.
It's a plate carrier. Drink it.
Joshua says BTHG
There's too
Ghost
many.
placard.
There's too
What's
many acronyms. I don't even
BTHD?
know these. I mean, who else besides me
BTHD
is
Ghost
going to know this stuff?
placard. You can hold 6.
He
And then
corrected it later on. BHTG.
BHTG. What is that?
BHTG. She got grief.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
BHTG.
But here's the problem.
What?
Here's the problem. When you put 6 mags on the front of your plate carrier and then you go prone, you're going to hate your life. Don't do it.
What's
Don't do it.
BHTG?
Barrel
I don't
hatchet.
know.
Oh, barrel and hatchet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and so what Joe's saying is a real thing too. Going outward is probably the biggest problem. Going around is not as big of a deal. Like think of it only going one layer out, but if you have to go further out,
and say you have to put a seatbelt on. Like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting too far into it. Like, people don't think that they're going to wear a seatbelt in the end of days and they're just going to be ejected out of a car. But you can't put it around, because when you have a seatbelt on, you will not be able to get out of that vehicle. Like, it is going to hang up on every piece of gear that you have trying to get out of a vehicle with a seatbelt on.
I never noticed how well priced all the barrel and hatchet stuff is. Because
that's because they're running stuff that went designed in 2003.
Croak says, I train with the barrel and hatchet guys. Don't like that placard / chest rig, but I hate flaps.
Yeah,
I'm not a flap
maybe Joe's right. Yeah.
Dude, I've never even seen this. I don't even know them. But the fact that you have a double stack, and now that you guys said flaps on it, 100% 2003, dude. 100%.
Yeah.
This is, come on now. This is straight up, straight up generation kill days, dude. Like, you got flak vests on there too?
They might.
Yeah.
I have to see their website. Okay, no, I'm still going back to this. Who does 75 grain? I do 77 grain. Is 75 grain like a bus I missed somewhere?
No, it's just an option that's there. I think it's one of the options that PSA has, right?
It is. It's like PSA and Frontier, both of which I would not buy. Probably go. There's some Hornady stuff. There's some Hornady. Maybe it's in there. I don't know. It's just not
quality ammo.
Who does Frontier?
Hornady.
Oh, Hornady does.
Yeah, they make some quality ammo.
Frontier is like when you want to blow your buddy's gun up. Be like, hey man, I brought some ammo out for us.
Frontier is like when you want to prove a point why bullpups are dangerous.
No, they're not dangerous. Like, you want to bet?
Yeah, I'm going to teach you today. Here's a mag of Frontier.
How brave you feeling right now?
Zero posted on Discord. He says, my house has turned into a petting zoo. Currently there are 4 dogs, 4 ducks, and a gecko.
Yeah, oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we can up the reptiles if you're feeling froggy.
Up something.
Yeah, dude. You one gecko? Like, come on now. Dude, get an armadillo lizard. I've always wanted one, and I'm going to live vicariously through you. Or a crocodile skink, one or the other.
Or a Florida or Georgia snapping turtle. Whatever breed is down in Georgia, get one of those.
I don't even think that was a snapping turtle that I'm trying to take your finger. Dude.
I don't know, man.
It's just a turtle.
It's a regular turtle.
I saw a video the other day. It was funny. This guy was like, this is an alligator snapping turtle. Its jaws can do this. And this is how you pick it up. And then for other snapping turtles, you're supposed to grab them. Like, you just like basically pinch the back of their shell because their necks are long enough that if you grab them from the side, they can still bite you.
Yeah,
that turtle was mean. That turtle was so mean.
Anyway, sorry. McKing Arthur said they were Hornady SBR rounds, so it's the Hornady 75. So okay, I'll give you some.
Brooks says Barrel and Hatchet made those for their open gym days at the old J-Tac ranch, where they'd be running and gunning for extended periods and not going back to the safe area to jam mags.
There you go.
Is that why they have the flap though? Oh, just because they different.
Plus, Eric there likes the whole nom vibe, I think.
Oh, dude,
they're straight up nom. But dude, we always say it, right? I'm in my mind. I have one mindset in mind, right? That's what I'm used to. But mission dictates gear. If you're not dropping and going prone, if you're somewhere where you need to secure them even more down into the pouches. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you're a commercial driver instead of a traveler.
076 says, my daughter wants a snake. She got a gecko. Her mom put her foot down on the snake. We're still working on chickens and sugar gliders.
Oh yeah,
What are those?
the flying squirrel thing,
Squirrels,
little flying squirrel things.
Never heard of them. Sugar gliders.
Yeah.
So my cousin,
They got
same
long
name.
tongues. They're not really squirrel, but
My cousin had some constricting snake, like a boa constrictor or a python or something like that. And he built this, what do you call it? Terrarium that the snakes live in or whatever, like in the corner of his room. And somehow it got out and it made it to my aunt's, like the master bathroom, and somehow curled around the shower head. And she went in to take a shower, like didn't notice until she was rinsing her face off. And she looked up and saw this snake coiled around her shower head. Yeah, they got rid of the snake that day.
He's probably super confused too. Like, what? What is this going on?
Yeah, dude, we have the 2 store in Spring called Scale and Tails, and they have all that stuff, like all that stuff. You can pay to feed the snakes, right? Like $1 or $2 because mice cost money. Or if you show up at the right time at feeding time, dude, they just like go down the row. And I'm talking like 50 snakes. Like there's stuff. They're a big old tortoise. There's one of the iguana that like this big, and they're out of their cages and stuff. Damn. I go there to get my fix. It's better than going to the zoo.
Like,
and cheaper.
I just need you to eat something. I just need it. I need a fix.
But if nobody, I'm going to be disappointed if not a single one of our viewers were like, "Oh, what? An armadillo lizard? I need to look that up." Or a crocodile skink. If nobody Googled either, though, I'm going to be disappointed, dude.
I didn't Google it.
I'm just saying, all of our viewers, you should though. You should Google armadillo lizard.
Okay.
Are we doing that right? Did you bring questions today?
I did bring questions actually, and that's what we have.
You watch, dude. Armadillo lizards.
Armadillo lizard is awesome,
dude. They like.
Roll up like this normally?
Yeah, dude. That's what they do when they're in fear. Yeah, wait until you see the skink.
What's
the crocodile skink?
Croak says reptiles are not pets. They run the government and shouldn't be petted or fed.
Crocodile skink.
Crocodile skink's awesome. Like first thing, a crocodile skink's good pets. Oh, and we lost him. It was Joe's turn. Like he got so excited, gone.
Oh, why would they not be a good pet?
I'm back.
Yeah.
What?
Our red first question from the crocodile skinks: Are crocodile skinks good pets?
No lizard really is, or no reptile really is. They're not domesticated, dude. They're and the way that they get them, the way that they farm them, the way like everything about them is bad business. Yeah, plus, they're shy and they don't. You have just like an iguana. Iguana, dude. Have you ever had a friend that had an iguana?
Yeah, usually just kept.
Yeah, and you had to put a sock on to get it because it would whip you with its tail. Because if you don't hold them and handle them every day, that's what they're gonna do.
Because they get like jealous or something.
No, they have short memory, and they're like, "You're trying to kill me!" Like, and I'm gonna whip the living crud out of them.
My cat forgets who I am every day. Like, who are you? Like every single day for his whole life. But it even says here these lizards aren't overly fond of humans. Like
yeah,
like
but they're tiny. They can't do anything bad to you. And if you handle them every day, you'll be fine. Yeah.
Not gonna be like your dog. Put that way.
But what did you say about them? They're cool, huh?
Yeah, they look cool.
I love winter in South Florida when the iguanas fall out of the trees when we have a cold snap.
Yeah. I've always wondered though, Croak, do they die or are they just like in a dormant state and then once they warm back up, they're back alive? Or is it kind of both?
Probably just dormant.
Oh, wow.
I think they're dormant.
Okay, I got to show this. This is 076 dog. Let me share this.
If you could figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cute dog. We're just randomly doing dogs.
Yeah.
Well, he posted.
That's a schnauzer. I can't.
Like I can't do it.
I've had a
So,
bad experience with
okay.
Schnauzer, dude. Like, nope, can't do
So
Schnauzers.
I do have. First question was one we kind of touched on last week.
Okay.
Joe was really upset about it.
Oh, it's a good one then.
He was sort of upset with like a variation of this. So, question number one: should firearm safety be taught in schools?
How could you be upset by this? I think this
Okay,
is, yeah.
so let me caveat that when I say Joe was upset last week is because one of the questions I had last week was if you were like king for a day and you could pass one.
No,
Yeah,
it was
that.
the week before that,
Week
and
before that, I was
Walsh went forcing stuff down our throats too,
Oh, that's
just
right,
like
right.
you.
Yeah, and my thing was
Yeah,
like
you're
we
you're
should
an
mandate
authoritarian.
firearm
That's what you are.
safety. We should mandate firearm safety in
He's
school.
mad. It was just so funny
And Joe
because
was like,
he's like, I want a gun, but if you're gonna make me have one, like,
there, turned to red.
Let's get into this.
Okay, so
Let's get
the
into
question is
this.
not should it be mandated, but should it be like an option for kids to take?
Absolutely,
absolutely.
absolutely.
And but I think all those things, all those silly things, like why don't kids do it? They used to. I think back in the day, they used to do like classes on driving. We never did classes on taxes, which I think is the craziest thing. I mean, it used to be like how to write checks and stuff, but there should be classes on on like taxes and how to do a budget. Like, hey, here's a class on who can take their money and make it last the longest, right? Like, do things of like long-term money management. Why don't we have any of that? And because we have 90% of the population who can't manage basic income.
Dude, I didn't know what I was doing. I filled out my first W-2. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, and you just expect like, well, if you do it wrong, you go to jail. Like,
Yeah.
how do they know I do it wrong?
Congratulations.
Like how do
Oh,
they
they
know
know.
I do it wrong? You
they
tell
know.
them. Like, if you tell them you did it wrong. Like, I'm not going to tell them I did it wrong. Then.
Yeah. Well, then you go to jail for that too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
don't file your
that's also-
taxes, go to jail. File them wrong, go to jail.
That's also a crime. Not knowing how to do your taxes, crime.
Go to jail.
Do taxes wrong, crime.
No. So more seriously, yes, I think it should be offered. I think Hunter Ed should be offered also because some people don't have the money or don't have the parents for stuff like that, right? I was fortunate enough. We lived in the mountains. So my dad got, excited about going hunting, even though we never did. But he got excited about going hunting, so we both went through hunter safety course. But if it wasn't for that, I would have never went through it.
It's a good point too, because I think there's also something to be taught, even especially on hunting, like taking humane shots. Like, hey, can you take that 450-yard shot? Like, yeah, you probably can, but can you make an ethical? Like, are you a good enough shooter to make an ethical, clean shot at that range? The answer may be no, but every individual has their limits, and in the archery side, you have to learn all that too. Like, just because I can hit that far doesn't mean I can make a clean shot.
Because I'll ask you this. I'll ask you guys this. What's a better skill to have? Okay. Dissecting a frog and telling me all of a frog's internal parts, or learning how to field dress an animal?
I would say they go hand in hand, to be honest with you, because they're not
really. I could give two craps where a frog's heart or liver located. Yeah. I don't remember any of it. I just remember pinning that little thing open.
I don't think of them as wildly different, but I see where your point is, where yours is taking the same idea and expanding it out into a more realistic standpoint. I like your angle better, but I also see where it's like, all right, they're trying to do the same thing in a smaller, like they probably don't have that many deer to flay open. We're getting a whole bunch of frogs is probably a good bit easier, but
yeah.
I do agree with
during hunting season, somebody will volunteer something. Or roadkill, dude. Have the roadkill brought to, well, I normally, most of my life I've lived in rural areas, so this isn't feasible in a city.
Yeah.
But bring roadkill into there and have the kids do it, or have the school do it before they take it to the homeless shelters.
And it's the best too, because my favorite would be like, all right, somebody grab the butt out. Like, what is the butt out? Yeah. Oh, it's the tool. It's called that. It's called the butt out.
Yeah.
Like, what does it do? It takes the butt out.
Right. But you still have to cut around. Like, these are skills. But I'm also a huge fan in what Jason was talking about a week back or so. I'm a huge fan in these high school now that you come out with an associate's in something, or you come out with, what are the school called? Not a college.
Like a tech school or
Trade
something?
school. Yeah,
Trade
trade
school?
school. You come out
Yeah.
with a trade, like high school that are doing that, and that
Yeah.
should, in my opinion, be part of it. Gunsmithing should be an offered
Yeah, that's
course.
something I talked about. My daughter got accepted into the dental assistant program. So for her junior year of high school, if she does good, she could graduate high school with a high school diploma and have 2 years of experience as a dental assistant.
I think that's huge.
She's already like reached out to a dentist that she can intern at, and I mean, it teaches them a lot of great skills that you could leave high school if you wanted to and start making a job, working at a job where you're making, dental assisting is not a lot, maybe 30 to 40 grand a year. But for an 18-year-old, it's a lot better than like some barista.
Right. And that's the problem you run into a lot of times is that having that little bit of experience to get you in the door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, hey,
That's
we need to have
huge.
you need to have 2 years experience. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get started. Like, well, you need 2
Yeah.
years experience to get started. Like, how
Right.
do you get
That's like building
started?
credit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You need credit to build credit. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
how this starts. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, imagine a trade
But-
skill like plumbing or like electrical and like
Yeah, and on top of that,
skills.
like, yeah, okay, she's only gonna be making 30 or 40,000 a year, but she's 18, and most 18-year-olds nowadays, instead of making money, they're going $50,000 a year
Yeah.
in debt
Yeah.
with college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's
She
a funny
can start
meme.
off, put herself through school, pay as she goes, so she never gets a school loan.
Yeah. There's a funny meme about that where it's like it's typically like this is Bob. Bob has $150,000 in student loan debt for his underwater basket weaving degree. He's currently working as a barista, making $15 an hour. And then it's like here's Steve. Steve doesn't have any debt. He went to trade school. He's an electrician. He's making $80,000 a year, and now he's cutting off Bob's power because he's not paying his power bill.
Yeah.
And like 076 Liberty says, I finally talked my stepson into going to a trade school about 6 months ago. He's struggling now, but he's learning to work on HVAC systems. So if he sticks with it, he'll be good in a few years.
Yeah.
And you're talking like healthy 6 figures after a couple of years.
HVAC and $40 an hour. That's if you work for somebody.
Yeah. And that's one of those like, did we all have a time in our life when we had to struggle? All these people nowadays are like, oh, it's impossible to live. Man, there was a time in my life, $50 was life-changing, and that was being in the military, paid and everything else. Yeah. And that was like, dude, we have an extra $50. Like, that means we get to go out. We could maybe buy some extra stuff. Like, so yeah, we've all been there in those tough times. So we feel you, but yeah, you struggle through those pieces, but working towards something that's worthwhile. Struggling being a barista, man, change your angle. It's not gonna work out for you in the end.
Israel says, dad question, best advice for an 18-year-old girl coming up in military life. So are you saying like she grew up while you were in the military, or she's
going into the military?
Yeah. Give us more question, more perspective.
Mr. King Arthur said, my daughter left high school with a phlebotomy certificate to take blood. She's going most of a ride through nursing school. She's going most of a ride through. I read that right.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I think she's getting most of.
Yeah, you were just
a free ride almost.
Yeah, you were trying to make it sound dirty.
Shadowman says, we have a problem at work that we don't have enough experienced people for firefighters, so we are hiring people with no time in the business, and it is concerning. I get that.
Yeah. I do too, but in my experience, firefighter have been overly picky, and I'm not saying this is your fire station, but I think firefighter do it to themselves. They consider themselves a very elite group, which I understand, like big city and stuff. I understand it's dangerous. But yeah, I think they've kind of done it to themselves.
And I'm with you.
Same with cops.
Super unpopular opinion. I think it's the job of the previous generation to prepare the next generation. So if you say, hey, the current generation isn't doing anything, like, okay, well, because what did you do to help them? Right. So even then that same, fireman thing, like, hey, all of a sudden we have all these people who don't know how to, we have this huge age gap. Like, what were you doing between then and now to prepare for that?
Because your parents can either be an example or a warning.
Yeah. Imagine if fire departments, right, instead of just standing out by a street light holding a boot, they had like open firehouses. I know some of them do. Some of them do.
Yeah.
But open firehouses got kids interested, and then like that 18-year-old that just graduated and went on the football team and is in super great shape and all that other stuff, they actually gave them a job.
Or at least in their learning, like, hey, you want to do some stuff with us? We'll teach you some stuff. See if that's what you're interested
Yeah.
in. Let us
But
show you the
instead,
ropes.
they made it all like, no, we can't hire you. We're not going to hire you. And you have to work here for free for like 4 years before we'll even consider it.
Yeah.
Oh, and you have to go to all the medical school and pay for it out of your pocket.
Mission 7 Tactical says, when it all goes down, it won't matter what degree it says on your diploma. If you have no vocational skills, you're either dependent on someone else to sustain you or you're pretty much screwed.
I would say too, I don't think it matters what's on your diploma. I would say
Yeah.
maybe I'm the weird one that most people I know don't even work within their degree field. I think it like helps you to get in the door, like realizes you can have those conversations, but there's so much like, oh, you have some knowledge in this thing. Oh, that's not your degree. Who cares? Like,
Yeah.
like
Like,
I don't think they're tied to one another.
Yeah, I think
depends though.
I think most people know I've been in law enforcement now for 14 years, and there's people that have a criminal justice degree. There's people that have history degree, a math degree, English. There's a FBI guy I know who's an English major. Like it varies widely.
Yeah.
Israel
And they'll
Israel
hire that person, the English major, over somebody that had 5-year law enforcement experience.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Like, oh, you got a business degree in 1 year. Oh, you got 10 years experience. All right, business degree, boy, hook it up because we know you.
Yeah.
Yep.
They see like the long term. Like, oh, this person already has that knowledge now instead of having to earn it over time. So
yeah, which.
So
Israel clarified. He said, growing up as a military, so his 18-year-old daughter, growing up as a military brat and trying to figure out life away from the military.
So I would give the advice exactly what we're talking about. So my experience with this is me and my sister were military brats our entire lives, and then my daughter were military brats because of me. So that's my experience. I'm obviously not a girl, so I don't know that part of it. Boys are different. For military brats, they're awesome for me, terrible for my sister. And my youngest daughter, we moved her away in the summer of her senior year. Best advice I can give you, and push her towards a trade school, exactly what we're talking about. With being military brats, it almost seemed, I wouldn't say a popularity contest, but especially with girls. College, I don't think is the best place for her to figure out what life is like without the military. Push her towards a trade school, let her live at home for a little bit, let her figure out what she wants to do in her life, and then she can go out and do it.
I'll kind of tweak that a little bit because I went to a big school for a good bit of time, and I don't think I had a good experience. So I went to Georgia Tech for 3 years, and it was just such a big school, and you're such a number and everything. I pretty much told everybody, like, kind of in the kid perspective too, when you kind of learn that responsibility and everything else. Do 2 years at a community college, right? Learn all those pieces. You're still working locally. You're still kind of like learning all your stuff. You're still like having to get everything situated, and then do your last 2 years at a big university. I think that's an ideal situation because I think that's what would have been better for me. But I think we all work differently too.
Yeah.
Croak says, well, when the current generation is trending towards 50% plus single parenthood, usually female, that generational knowledge is going to be scant, or what you learn from dad is crime.
I think that could be a challenge. I don't know if that's the standard, and if that's the case, then there's no information to be shared. But you got the same thing from Zach Fett, where he says like his parents taught him nothing, where like they just said, hey, go to college, you're gonna learn something, like. And then those, like, if those are the same people who then say like, oh, hey, our current generation's a bum, like, yeah, because of you. Like, you caused them. Like, you should take your knowledge. You should make the next generation smarter than you, more efficient, more effective than you. Not like, all right, you figured it out on your own like I had to. Like, why? Why be like that? Like, don't do that.
Yeah, but so I'm gonna play devil advocate a little bit. So your parents, I understand why they're not teaching kids a lot, right? Because if they're parents that are doing what they should do in life, by the time you're grown to learn stuff like how to work on a car or how to do plumbing in your house or how to do any of that, your parents should be well enough off that you're not living in places or have cars that break down every day, right? Some people don't. Some people live in that life and that's fine. But for me, my goal, I was broke and all get up when my kids were young, right? But as they got of age, no, I had a nicer vehicle that was under warranty, and if it broke down, I'd take it in and get it fixed.
Sure.
And I was a mechanic,
Yeah.
right? But I'd have somebody else do it under warranty and free for me.
Yeah.
So that's a hard one. I learned everything that I know from being broke.
Yeah, that's true.
People that are broke don't have any other option. And I would say that generation are the best off. Because me, I had to go, what did we have to do? We had to go to the library. We had to ask our elders. We had to ask the neighbor, like, hey, have you ever done this? Dude, all the kids nowadays, if you got a plugged toilet or you need to sweat a copper line, YouTube.
Yeah, you're right. It's even easier nowadays because you're right.
It's so easy to figure it out.
But you're right. I had to change an alternator because, I learned how to change an alternator because there was no other choice. Like, hey,
right.
Your
dad didn't teach you that.
Yeah, I don't got $300 to pay somebody. I have a refurbished alternator from my car, and you just like, hey, how do you rented? You rented the tensioner because you bring it back, get your deposit back. So you're like, oh yeah, the Clinton manuals, and you're right. And maybe that's a good point. Like
Chilton,
Chilton,
Chilton manuals were my bathroom reading back in the day.
You bring up a point, though, Joe. It's the struggle that made us rise. It wasn't right. It wasn't the easy times.
If your parents were doing what they were supposed to do, right, by the time you got 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old, your dad didn't have a car that the alternator was going out on all the time. Yeah. Maybe you're lucky and they had a project, right? Maybe.
But that's like you're so well off that you have one you just screwed around in.
Right. That's like, but normally they were well off enough to buy that vehicle with a warranty, but all their money went going toward that car payment. So having a project car was no. And you were on your own for your own car, right?
Yeah. So it's an interesting conundrum is being worse off actually better for you from a knowledge standpoint and a growth standpoint? It's like in a weird way, it's like kind of yes.
There's been some
when you can't
like some science behind this where specifically college people going to college, like I forgot what the numbers were, but it was like if you work 20 hours a week or 15 to 20 hours a week while you're going through college, you're 30% more likely to graduate or something like that. So there's been some science behind that. Like working and struggling it's not a bad thing. And that's something that, like, for me, for my kids, by the time we were actually smart with money, we realized, okay, we could start 529 college plans for all of our kids. And by the time my oldest goes to college, we might have 1 year saved up. And by the time the youngest goes, we would have all 4 years. And I could already imagine my oldest going, that's not fair. You paid for the littles college the whole way and you didn't pay for mine. So we sat our older two down and we said, here's what we're going to offer you guys. Your first year of school, we'll pay for everything. Your second year, we'll pay tuition. You got to cover room and board and food and that type of stuff. And years 3 and 4, you're on your own. Or you can live at home and go to the community college. You don't have to pay rent, but you got to pay for yourself through school. Those are your options. Mm-hmm. And then let them choose. And if my daughter was like, what if I get a scholarship and college is paid for? I'm like, then we'll take that money. We'll go on a trip to Europe or whatever you want to do.
Yeah. And I like it because then there's some level of investment into their own education. They lose out on all that money gets paid for and they just screw around. It gets lost. I say it because from me, it was like all my stuff was kind of paid for and I didn't take it seriously until I had to pay the bill. And it was like, no, I have to focus on I'm paying for this. I'm responsible for this. So I'm with you.
But then you start second guessing it. Like, well, is this even worth it? Or, dude, you're 18. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Just go to a trade school. Go to a trade school because then you'll have that trade the rest of your life, right? Yeah. Say it's HVAC, whatever it is, right? Say it's HVAC. And you go to that trade school. So you do that for a while, and then you figure out that you want to be a doctor. So you go off, you get your doctorates, blah, blah, blah. You'll never have to pay an HVAC guy when your heater doesn't turn on. in the middle of the night.
And it's also basic skills. Like you'd always have those basic mechanical skills to be
Right.
like, hey, the plumbing's not like, it's probably something simple. It's not what you think it is. It's all the same
Right.
stuff, technically.
You know how to use a multimeter now. You know how to, use snips and
Right.
I don't.
So Jason,
Don't use the other one.
I hope my kids never watch this, but my plan was always do something similar to yours and tell my kids like they have to pay it. Give them kind of an ultimatum, like, hey, you can pay rent, you could do this, like all these different pieces. But then once they graduate, just give it all back to them. But I wanted them to take it seriously and then use like, hey, here's all your money back that you paid me back. Thought I was paying for it, like you were, like you graduated. So now use it for your home and your down payment, get yourself started in life. But like,
and we should. I think we should aim to have our kids be better off than how we are.
Right.
With the idea though that, like I told my kids, I want you guys to be, if you leave this home and you are critical thinkers, then I succeeded as a parent. I don't want you to blindly follow. I want you to question, which is hard sometimes, especially being, I'm sure Israel would see this, like being a parent, a military minded parent, and I want things done when I say them, right? And so how do I mesh that with this? But I also want my kids to be critical thinkers. So there's some fights that we have about that, but I think in the end, I like it when my kids question, not question me, but like, why are we doing this? What's the motive behind whatever?
Tell me the why. Yeah, tell me the why, and like sell me on the why. Oh, well, here's the why, because we have to do it because of so and so. Oh, I get it now. Like we don't have a choice. Like it's an illusion of choice. Okay, well I'm on board because we have to do this for the greater good. Whatever. But at least explaining the why. Caleb was talking about this too. He was like, "Well, good to see you, Caleb." By the way, he was saying he was going for web development, kind of talking about how some college stuff can be, like Joe was saying, can be useless. That's a good example of one that was like a huge booming business, and then all of a sudden it was like nothing. Even now, like
you go to like Wix. Is it Wix or what's the one that you could like build your website? Some dummy could build it.
Yeah, most WordPress websites, if you just like same with follow YouTube, you follow it, spend 2 days, block out 48 hours, right? Two 8-hour shifts and build a WordPress page. Just follow YouTube step by step. You'll have it all set up in 2 days. You save yourself thousands of dollars. So,
Well, I did have a second question, but we're almost at our 2A mark.
Was it a good one?
I think so.
I like Mr. King's comment.
Mr. King said, after 2 degrees and a 20-year law enforcement career, I value tradespeople, and they make my small group of friends. Oh, yeah, big time.
And like being able to you'd be surprised when, we laugh. We're all kind of like, I didn't realize that we are actually maintenance guys. Like every single one of us are technically maintenance guys at our core. And I think we would be a little bit more annoyed, like, because like I went to go work on my rifle at Joe's house, and he's like, I hand it to him. He's like, what do you hand it to me for? And like points me to the tools, and I'm just like, right. So I go over there and start taking my gun apart. But like, I think we would all be a little bit more annoyed if we had that one person in the group was like, hey, I don't know how to torque this. Like, but what do you mean you don't know how to torque it? Like, how did you get to this point in your life not knowing how to torque things down? Like, what are you talking about?
That was Walsh 3 years ago.
Right. That's the friend that doesn't get invited back. Don't be that friend.
Caleb,
you have YouTube.
Points out. He says, "Then you call me when the site doesn't do what you want."
Oh yeah, yes.
How do I get this to happen? Like, you dummy. Crook, we used to get people trying to get game industry jobs coming out of Full Sail or some other game design curriculum. What they were taught was worse than useless.
Yeah, Full Sail is the SDI of the gaming industry. So like they would just steal those people's money, learn nothing, and it's SDI magic. Yeah. J Murph's making fun of maintenance nerds. Like
maintenance nerds.
Maintenance guys are the best,
dude. Okay, I got to tell you this though, J Murph. We make fun of maintenance nerds, so you're not hurting our feelings at all.
We know. Like, I was a first sergeant,
and I don't consider myself maintenance. I'm a mechanic.
Yeah, we had someone paint while we were deployed. They like painted a logo for our. It was like tradition. Like I was an F-15 maintainer, so any of the F-15 groups that flew in to Afghanistan, they each got a wall that they painted something on, and our guy painted our logo. And then he said, we were specialist was our term. Specialist, we're smart, so you don't have to be. Nice. That was our saying.
I think it's funny. it's funny how Doc Cypher's in there. It's like talking about Pog life.
Yeah.
In maintenance, like we would call anybody who's not maintenance a nonner.
Yeah.
So it
gets people angry.
Yeah, non-sortie producing MFer, and because it'd be like all these personnelists, all these other things, they would get
finance.
That was like a trigger word, and be like, hey, get these nonners to get to work because we got to go fly some airplanes. So like the maintenance, like, dude, we're mean.
Yeah, we're definitely mean. Get out of here, you nonner.
Yeah, like why are the nonners sitting in here? Like we work here too. Like, yeah, look how clean your uniforms are. Like everyone else is just disgusting, and they're like pristine and ironed. Like, no, you ain't one of us, buddy.
I like Murph's comment, but that's his own fault. Like, Murph, you messed up.
And something was wrong with my paycheck or something, like not getting the tax-free or the hazardous duty location, something like that. And so I had to go to finance, and of course they're only open from like noon to 1 p.m. on on every third Tuesday or something. And I was like, you could literally not exist. You could literally not be here, and my life would not be any worse than it is right now. Like, you do nothing for me.
It's funny.
Sir, I'm gonna have to get my master sergeant to come talk to you. You go do that.
I think like fate, just like because I was so mean to finance and so mean to personnelist, I was the shirt for both those places, and it was like fate just like dealing me a bad hand. Like, ugh, why are we closed right now? Like, oh, it's a training day. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Dude, they closed down the gym on base for training day, or they closed it down early.
This is good. Croak says, he's telling J Murphy, he says, I was a grunt that worked in phosphate mines, got a sociology degree, talk about useless, that ended up doing IT, then making games. Now I'm managing at a car dealership. Roll with it.
Who is that?
It's Croak. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I would say that's probably the number one thing with like where you're gonna end up in life. Whatever opportunities come up, snag whatever opportunities that come your way, ride them out, and say, hey, like, is this cool? Is this not? And I think it's just nuts how it all starts to kind of play out.
Last comment before we go to 2A News. Murph says, I'm about to fly back to Alaska to fight the finance Fs.
Wouldn't surprise me, like not at all, because as soon as you leave, they're like, "Oh no, we don't owe you that final paycheck." Like, yes, you do. Yeah,
yes, you do. All right.
Oh, Zach Vet said farts, J Murph, not the other word.
Yeah, because he got away with it. He got to type it.
Well, probably because Zach's probably tired of approving everybody's comments. Like, fine. About the farts, guys, save me a click.
All right. 2A News. Skipping for me.
It didn't. It never works on mine, but it really didn't work this time.
Mine just said you are on stage.
Oh, then we're back. Hi, everybody.
Oh, hey.
So Caleb commented, most of the people that I knew when I was in school ended up working jobs not related to their degree. Yeah, my father-in-law has a degree in chemistry. He worked for Dow Chemical for like 5 years, and then he sold in auto insurance for like the rest of his life.
Yeah, my degree was in business, and I was doing project management and then doing IT networking stuff. Like, nobody in that company wanted me to do anything with business.
I got my associates, and then I enrolled in classes for my bachelor's, and instantly said no. If I have to get a job that I need a bachelor for, I'm not going to like that job, and I'm not even going to apply for it. Not going to do it. I'll go to a trade school before I do that again.
Okay, so Croak is already, dude, he's freaking lining this up for us on deck. So New Jersey AR-15 ban, the Shush Act. Minnesota says you have to run away. Just reminders.
Okay, bring me up to speed.
I thought I just did.
I don't know what. Okay, so that I'm assuming New Jersey, you can't even pump
New Jersey AR-15 ban. Yeah,
I just assume people there don't have functional hands.
Shush Act is the what is it? Silencers Helping Us Save Hearing Act. It's to take suppressors off of the NFA.
It shouldn't be anyway. It's like here's my thing. Who is fighting to keep them on the NFA? And
everybody. What are you talking about?
But
Like everybody.
and
It is always the split divide with one or two people jumping ship, right? That's how it always is.
I'm just trying to look at there has to be an equal size. It has to be an equal size force trying to keep them on the NFA as there is the size of the force to remove them, right? So that tells me there's like this massive size force to keep them on the NFA. But that also tells me there has to be a reason, right? There has to be a reason to do that. And that reason is usually financial. Okay. It doesn't have to be. Right. It doesn't have to be. But I'm thinking that there's usually some sort of monetary reason. But I don't think, I think they're just losing money on that whole tax anyway. I mean, they should be making money.
Hopefully. So Croak says New Jersey lifted the assault weapons ban sort of on the AR-15 only, not the other models. So like AR-15s are good in New Jersey, but not AKs or any other semi-automatic rifles.
We all know they're unconstitutional. The Supreme Court already ruled that they're in common use. Heller tells us that if it's common use for lawful purposes, you can't ban it. It's unconstitutional. It's just going to take years to fight it. They know it, and that's why they did it. Like, this is the same. I'm not even going to go red on this, and I'm not even going to go cyber citizen.
But here's something that's interesting. Well, not interesting, but I think will even drive you more up the wall. The New Jersey Attorney General, this is his quote after this ruling. He said, "I'm disappointed that the district court has held that individuals have a constitutional right to possess the Colt AR-15, a ruling that has no support in the text or history of the Constitution."
What?
Like, I am disappointed that the court said that individuals have a constitutional right.
Yeah. I'm disappointed that he's obviously never read the Constitution.
The New Jersey Attorney General said that.
But these people also in the same state they're not allowed to pump their own gas because they don't have the mental capacity to do so for some reason. So yeah,
Oregon used to be like that until COVID, and then now it's like you can choose if you want to or not.
I mean, so you tell Oregon, the people who don't have the mental capacity to work a fuel pump, should they have a firearm? Probably no. Like maybe learn how to use a fuel pump first and then work your way up.
And I say, it's their God-given right.
And we laugh about it, but it's one thing to be like, hey, we talk about you should probably get training on it. We hope you guys get training. We want you to get training, but ultimately it's your right.
Yeah, and like Oregon, they did that so people had jobs, honestly.
That's what Croak was saying.
But it puts the burden on the person because and now every gas station has to have multiple people that they're paying for that, which is good that they have jobs, right? But your gas is more expensive than mine.
Croak says gas pumping was a Jobs Act, not safety.
Yeah.
But it's funny.
And supposedly emission stuff too. And honestly, dude, have you seen the video where the guy didn't know where to fill up a boat and he filled the entire bow up with fuel? No. Did you see that video? Oh, dude. So he thought like a fishing rod holder because it was a hole. He put the gas nozzle in there and just filled the entire boat. Well, not the entire thing. He finally realized it, but wasted a boatload of money, literally, pun intended, filling the floor, the hole or whatever up with.
I saw one where a guy he put a trash bag. He was during COVID, and he of course is panicked during gas, right? And and he filled the entire thing with a plastic garbage can, and then started filling the gas, not realizing that the gasoline's going to eat through the plastic. So then he's filling it up. He drives away, and he's just like,
Dude, there's people getting gas in Ziploc bags. Remember?
Yeah.
So
it was a while ago.
I don't know. Like maybe the two states that we tease are onto something. Like,
I wonder how far down the road they got, like walking with their plastic bags of gasoline.
Before it ate through. It'd be like the scene from Home Alone when Macaulay Culkin has the groceries, and then they just rip out the bottom.
Like I would tell you guys, guys, wherever we're going, I'll be late. I'm gonna follow these people because I want to catch this moment. It's not gonna be long. Like it won't be long.
Dude, one that I saw that was funny was a lady at a gas station with a Tesla, and she's got the gas pump in her hand, and she's walking around the back of the Tesla trying to figure out where does this go?
Yeah, where it goes.
Is it probably a rent? Like, I know people that were getting rentals, like particularly during COVID, of like, and they would be electric vehicles, and like they don't know how to deal with that. Like,
I'm really surprised that she even knew that it went low on its energy source.
There was a video, I forgot where it was, but this guy recorded it because he was coming up to a dude on the side of the road with Tesla. The guy had a Tesla, and he was like, "I need help. Can you give me a ride to go get gas?" And the dude was trying to explain, like, it's not going to work for you. Like, this isn't. And he's like, no, it will work. It will work. Watch, I'll show you. And he opens up the trunk, and in the trunk he has a generator.
Generator? Yeah.
yeah.
Have you seen the family that went trying to put the compressed natural gas into their tires?
This is Brooks said the people in an RV trying to fill a tire with propane.
Yeah, different one, but yeah, this is all funny stuff.
Like,
Dr. says critical thinking. It's a really unrefined skill.
Right, and this goes back to if all those people were poor when they were young, none of this would be happening.
That's true.
Yeah, because you can't afford like you're poor.
Dude, you could not afford to make that mistake.
No,
you could not afford to make the mistake of putting $25 worth of gasoline in a Ziploc bag. No.
Yeah.
You ain't got $25 extra dollars.
Dude, did you see? I don't. Someone in the comments is probably going to know this movie, but I saw a clip from a movie where there's like a shipwreck and these people make it to shore, and like the maid or the janitor on this yacht is exactly what you're talking about. Like this poor lady, she knows how to like set traps and cook food, and so she's eating, and these like the rich people are like, "Why are you getting more food? You're just a janitor." And she was like, "On ship, I janitor. Here, I captain."
Yeah, dude. Exactly.
I do remember
I'm that guy that ran I had an 85 Ram, Dodge Ram, ran it out of fuel trying to coast it into the gas station and didn't make it. But luckily my truck didn't have a neutral safety switch, so I put it in low gear and cranked the starter, and it just all the way up to the pump and got gas.
Would that destroy your battery?
Yeah, and your starter. Yeah, both.
But good news, he was poor.
But it was like 100 yards. Yeah. Right, it was like 100 yards, and I was young and dumb. It didn't matter at that time.
We could fix that.
One problem at a time, Jason.
My friend has a side hustle for EV rescue. He has a truck with an old army generator. He makes a decent amount of money. Dude, that's a great idea.
Yeah, man.
So I work for a certain I work for the feds, and we have an option to like get rid of one of our older vehicles and get an EV. And so this got proposed to our office, and I was like, well, where's a charging station? We don't have a charging station in our office building. There's not one remotely close. So we'd have to like take the vehicle and drive somewhere else to like eat lunch or something and charge it. And they're like, no, you can't
sit there for an hour.
You can't do that. That's a personal use. You can't use your government vehicle for personal use. I'm like, so we just leave it here until it dies. Yeah, basically.
And now somebody's gonna order you one. That's the way the government works.
It's gonna happen.
Look at the Doc Cypher comment.
Sorry. Murph420 says Fairbanks had a government Tesla. So stupid. The plug froze to the car.
Yep. Dude, there was some big problem during an ice storm. Like, it wasn't an ice storm, but it was kind of sleet, watery and everything, and then it froze really bad here in Colorado. And dude, everybody went abandoning. There was so many abandoned EVs in the parking lots because they were waiting. The doors were frozen. Nobody could get in to get them charged.
What was the car company? It was an EV company. Like during I think it was a flood, hurricane. Like all the cars started because their batteries aren't waterproof. So like all the cars started blowing up and burning.
A couple of them have done that actually, but and they had to. It went down south, and they had to park the cars like 10 yards away from every other EV. Like they had to grid them out because if one of them caught fire, they would all they would all light up. There's been EVs that are on fire. They submerge them in water, pull them out 3 months later, and they just combust back up again.
Yeah.
Who was it we were talking to about the bystander, or like, I don't know if it's bystander effect, but basically talking about like people who are in cars. I thought it was this crazy effect. A tragedy happens and they just abandon their vehicles.
I don't know.
Who was it we were talking to? There's somebody we were talking to, like this crazy thing people do where they just abandon their vehicles, and people don't realize, they think they're going to go escape or somewhere where all these people get stuck on the highway and they just get out. And
it happened here.
Yeah, and then now there's vehicles everywhere. Everything's all jammed up because everybody got out and just ditched their vehicles. Like, oh, yeah, great. Like, that's a problem. Like, that's a real thing. Ugh.
So Doc Cypher said, hard not to notice the annoying flashing the Elon Mobile does when it's low. They're also a pain in the butt to put out if they're on fire. And then he said, dang it, I got to chug another damn Gatorade.
I can't imagine, think of it because it's a chemical burn. So you throw it in a lake, like, oh, it's out. Like, it's
and like lipo batteries spontaneously combust if they're exposed to oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I don't know what's in those.
Hey, Ironside's here. It says, "Heyo, everyone."
What were the other 2A things we had? So the Hush Act, we're trying to get silencers off the NFA.
Pennsylvania got knocked in the face.
Oh, I don't know about that one. Share, Joe. Share.
Oh, shoot, dude. I think because they were doing the whole thing where you can't carry in Philadelphia. You can't carry in your vehicle. You can't blah, blah, blah. And there were like 5 things. And out of the 5, I think 3 were found unconstitutional on their face. They didn't even go to court. And I think the carry one in Philadelphia, they just need to reword it and re-engage. But yeah, there's a lot to digest. Honestly, I don't remember. I told myself before this show I was going to rewatch the video and take notes, and then I didn't have time to do that.
Yeah, Croak said we brought that up last week. Sorry, Croak.
Oh, sorry.
I think, did we bring up the force reset trigger last week as well? Or was that new?
I think so.
I think so.
A
couple weeks. I saw the thing on. I probably talked about it last week, but yeah, it was awesome to see that one just went away. I'm sure they're going to appeal it, but they're like, yeah, this obviously isn't. It doesn't fire automatically. I love the way that judge just like tore that thing apart.
Yeah, but that was Fifth Circuit again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fifth Circuit.
Yeah. But they did a nationwide injunction, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but they already went out of business. So now what? So now they get to sue the government for millions of dollars of lost revenue.
So, and that's an interesting one. Like, I think that's the case. Like, wouldn't you? Like, if the thing that you like, if the act they did, the rule they put in was found to be they couldn't have ever actually made that rule, then you can go sue on the grounds of you ruined my business based on.
I think it depends on so yeah, in the way that this was ruled on, yes, but there have been times in the past where judges have made rulings and they have specifically said in their ruling, but anything that was like, if you were arrested for this charge previously, that doesn't get vacated. Like, that was the law of the land at the time. But something like this, I don't know. Washington Gun Law did a video where he was going through like what the judge said are like the recourses for the ATF, like what they have to do.
Like Croak brings up, like, because he's saying that one where they have to compensate them or give the units back.
Yeah.
So like that's a crazy one. Like, okay,
because they destroyed them.
They just or they just threw them in a pile somewhere. They don't know whose is whose, right?
Yeah, but I get that that's what they have to do with those, right, to make them whole again. But are they really whole again?
No, they're not.
In law terms, are they whole again? Because they were.
Well, you got to think Fourth Amendment was like dragged through the mud, and they're doing
right. And not well. I'm talking now. I'm switching gear and going to the individual that got their stuff confiscated, right?
Yeah.
So, right off my mind, and I'm no lawyer, right? But right off my mind, so you got my credit card information, right? Illegally.
Yep.
You got my address illegally. Both of them are Fourth Amendment violations, right? Then you confiscated something from me, another Fourth Amendment violation, and the taking clause.
Right.
So now, do they have a 1983 lawsuit based off of violation of the Fourth Amendment?
They should.
Each individual.
They should, but
they've been wrong.
I think this goes back to what I think we touched on this last week. Like, if we were to get rid of qualified immunity, would these law enforcement officers that have done these things illegally, would they hesitate next time? Like, oh, I don't want to lose my house because I violated someone's constitutional rights.
No, local cops might a little bit, but not really, dude. So we've had, I don't even know how many of years it's not a thing in Colorado, right?
Yeah, qualified
but
immunity.
yet some of the most, it is, but some of the most egregious violation have been in Colorado, even without qualified immunity. That old lady where they broke her arm and left her in the cell and were laughing about it on video about hearing the pop. That was in Colorado. There's no qualified immunity. The lady that got locked in the back of the squad car and ran over by a train, that was in Colorado.
So did those officers get sued?
Yeah.
So and what people don't like, qualified immunity is that the law enforcement officer can say, like, well, I was acting under the scope and duties that were assigned to me, and therefore, a reasonable person would expect me to do these things, and whatever. Like, the lawsuit can get thrown out. The other thing that people don't understand, if you were to sue an individual law enforcement officer that was acting while they were on duty, the state could come in and be like, well, we believe that they were acting within the scope and their duties, so sue us instead of the officer.
Kind of,
and people will take that because it's a much bigger purse that you're suing from.
You're looking into,
In order for you to overcome qualified immunity, there has to be very established case law outlining almost the exact facts of your case.
Yeah.
And most of the time that's hard to do because no two cases are the same, right?
Right.
So that's hard to do. But there are times that it does get done.
Yeah, Mr. King Arthur says the federal government recommends to carry personal liability insurance. I have that, just in case.
Yeah. But I think, don't quote me on that, but I think in Colorado, the individual suing the individual officer up to $25,000.
Murph 420 says, "Why can't a cop pull me over and hit me with a baton? I could use a nice check."
Right. But so when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, like if you're suing the cop for $25,000, is anybody going to do that? Not really, because that doesn't even pay your lawyer fees, right? You're going to go after the city, you're going to go after the department, and you're going to go after buku bucks.
Yeah, it depends on the state. Like here in Washington, if you are charged with a crime and you are found not guilty, Washington State has a law in place that all your lawyer fees will be reimbursed to you. So if you sue for $25,000 for that,
but the lawsuit, it costs a lot of money, dude.
Right. Yeah.
And those are federal lawsuits. Those aren't state lawsuits.
The main thing I've learned
it's a 1983 act.
The thing I learned from Tuapri is just go to your local post office, stand there with your camera on, say weird but totally say kind of goofy stuff, non-threatening to everybody for hours until they do something they're not supposed to, and then pack up, leave, and sue them. There you go. Make a life out of doing that.
Spicy Snafu. Haven't seen you here before. Welcome. Dude, I love your must be in Texas. He says, "Oh, snap, I actually made one of these lives."
Spicy Snafu is one of the guys who's a big fan of ours over at ARFCOM.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you made it live.
Yeah, I got to hang out with him over at GunCon. We talked gear and stuff. He's a Spit and Raisins fan.
What is it?
Oh, he is?
Poster 7?
Get out of here, Spicy.
No Spit and Raisins, Ron. He's gonna be like, what's Spit and Raisins? We don't say that name here.
Yeah, we can't.
Ironside, look at this. 30 months of membership. Dirty 30. Thanks, buddy.
Months.
Dang.
Yeah, I was trying to get.
I also have a nylon addiction.
I was trying to get Spicy into some DM gear and some Shaw stuff. And he's like, it's too expensive.
Yeah,
compared to Spit and Raisins.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't Spit and Raisins. He had something else. I don't remember what he had. It was some good though. Yeah.
Croak says, "I think I met you at GunCon too, Spicy."
Yeah, he was hanging out with us.
Doc Cypher, sweet, another Geardo.
If you're here, you're a Geardo.
I'm not wearing my plate carrier, but it is right here.
Oh, I made a mistake of wearing mine today doing some recording when it was like 800 degrees outside. I was just dying.
Dude, hopefully, if Cajun was here, he'd give me crap. But I took my Jeep in because the AC went out on it, and I tried recharging it. I mean, when I was in Idaho, I tried recharging it, and didn't work, or it lasted for a little bit, and then I took it in. And I told them like, hey, I tried recharging it. It's blowing hot air, and they came back and they were like, it was just low. Like we charged it up, you're good to go. We put a dye in it. We didn't find any leaks. And so it lasts about 2 weeks. And we had this like stupid heat wave it was in the hundreds. So I took it back to them and they were like, we put double the amount of dye in it. We couldn't find a leak. We recharged it again. Like when it starts blowing hot air again, bring it back here and we'll hopefully see where it's leaking.
Sorry, pull up that spicy comment. I said I had him wrong. He says,
where the pores around here. I have an AC1 and the Scarab. Walsh talked me away from the Ultimate Wizard carrier.
Yeah, I think he was looking at the Spit and Raisins one. But I was making fun of the AC1 also. I was like, no, that thing's horrible.
That was one that I'm not going to say the name, but there was a guy I was arguing with at SHOT Show about the AC1, and I was like, for a made in the USA plate carrier, I'll take the Audi Gear LVZ. Oh, yeah. And he was like, well, is it Berry compliant? And I remember saying, like, do you know how many times a viewer has commented on one of our videos and asked, is it Berry compliant?
I need that $80 zipper on it instead of the 8-cent one. Like, that's what I need. Like, no, you don't. Anyway, yeah.
Prepper Book Club says, I'm so poor I carry my mags in a Dollar Tree plastic bag. Dude, that plastic bag is $1.25 now.
Yeah, and you can put gasoline in there too, just so you know.
Yeah. Doubles as a gas can.
I like how
Croak says, watermelon man, if that jogs your memory.
So if Croak the whole time he was wearing this button-up shirt that's just a whole bunch of watermelons, he was getting stopped by like everybody, like, bro, you look delicious.
Wait, Croak had a shirt with just watermelons on it?
Yeah, it was like they were just watermelon slices, but these huge watermelon slices. People would stop and be like, dude, your shirt is delicious. Like there's more stories behind it too. He got stopped by some celebrities and they were like, hey man, like that's a pretty good shirt. Like we can't resist you. It was really good.
Says, hey, Core came out with a non-Berry compliant plate carrier and it costs basically the same.
Weird, because they're just ripping people off left and right. Well, I hope they tested in their self-serving water retention test again. I'm sure it'll do great again.
Spicy Snafu says, I didn't even know about the OVT carrier in the same price range. That's pretty solid. You can find them on sale for like $80.
Jason probably has one. He'll send you for less than that.
The only one I have is a Poppies of War. So if you like the Poppies of War, I'll send you one for $80. I think I have it. I'd have to look.
Really? You'd sell poppies? You wouldn't sell poppies.
I can still get that one.
You could buy it. You can buy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see here. I'm going to check right now.
You wouldn't sell poppies.
Shout out says, because he's talking about envisions. He goes, I need my stuff to be made by the blind and deaf. Like,
yeah,
that's how we got all our stuff made.
Bless their hearts, dude.
And listen, that's awesome that they. We laugh about it, but that is awesome. They actually have jobs that they put together for them.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. But there's every once in a while you get something out of there and you're like, you hold it up and you're like, well, I know what lighthouse this came from.
Murph says, I wonder if the Mexico laser cut material absorbs water the same.
No, of course not. Yeah, of course. Nope. It's way better. You have to be standing here when you test it. That's how you know.
Ooh, Spicy's got the Poppy Safariland holster.
Oh,
dang.
Oh, you have to do it now. Like you can't. That's a weird flex to be like multicam Tropic and then a Poppy's Safariland holster. You got to get the whole thing.
All right. So Croak put his shirt on. I got to share this.
Croak's got to get on and tell you the whole story. I don't want to like it's.
Look at that thing.
Look at that shirt,
dude. It looks like a shower curtain that I would have.
And like when I'm saying, Jason, I want to give you like each of the watermelons is like the size of the griffin on my shirt. Like they're huge. They're not like little watermelon slices at all.
Exhausting.
I wish we had I should have taken a picture. Oh, it's good.
Doc Cypher says, just have Agilite make another IKEA carrier and call it good.
Dude, I just love how Zach Fett is finding out all the he's moderating everything. He's like, tit apparently is a no.
Apparently, it's a no word.
He's like learning all. Like it's funny because it's only like all the third grade words. Like, hey, if it's kind of a third or fourth grade bad word, it's a no go. But straight up,
if you're giggling about that word in third grade, you're in trouble here.
We were big when. So I have a much younger brother. He's like 12 years younger than me, and I remember we were going through this phase of don't say stupid. Stupid's a bad word. You say silly. And this lady cut off my stepmom while we were driving, and she yells at stupid a-hole. And my 3-year-old brother from the back goes, "Mom, you don't say that. You say silly a-hole." He said the word. And she was like, "Don't repeat what I say."
Oh, sorry, you silly a-hole. Like, there you go. There's no swear words here. Like,
I can say crap, but I can't say bull crap.
You guys will get a kick out of this. So my youngest, Joe, she was watching. They all love like 70s Scooby-Doo, and they heard the term "suit yourself," but they misheard it. So my wife sends me this text, and my youngest goes, "Well, Mom, shoot yourself."
and I thought you were going to say the S word.
Wait, what? What did you just say? And my daughter goes, like do whatever you want. Shoot yourself.
Shoot yourself. I mean, it's just not wrong. That works too. It's just morbid, and I feel like now we got to put up the crisis hotline number.
Yeah, like, by the way,
Croak says I stopped at a Walmart on the way up to GunCon to get some snacks. Shirt was right there on the way back to the food and called out to me.
I didn't realize you got it when you were on the way. That makes it even
better.
That's
funny. Yeah, that's even.
He was like a highlight. Like he was a mini celebrity of like, who's this guy and where did this shirt come from?
Yep, I get that.
That's funny.
That's awesome, man. All right, we are past our hour and a half. So, what do we have coming up this
weekend? So QVO Tactical, I mentioned at the beginning, they did a video on the Bull Tac Pro accuracy testing where they use jacketed rounds, which are known to cause issues with ports and comps. So it's on their website, on Blazer's website. I redid this test probably weeks ago. He just released a video this week. I did it too. I think it's a stupid test. You guys are going to enjoy that video because I make fun of the test like the entire time. I never want to have to do that again. And at the end, I just shoot it like a normal person. I think testing 25-yard accuracy with a pistol is a weird measuring stick, but maybe Joe will correct me later. I don't know. But enjoy that. It's more humorous than it is any actual anything.
Perfect. What do I don't have anything this week. I'm working on videos for next week.
Well, don't share everything yet then.
Yeah. So, that's anything else, Joe, before we close up shop here tonight? Okay.
I'm good.
Spicy Snafu, you joined, man, but you joined late.
Yeah.
But we love you still.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Especially
try to be on time next time, buddy.
Yeah, be on time next time. Hour and a half earlier than when you joined.
Hour and a half ago.
No, it's because you can always say stupid Central Time. He didn't know what time to show up.
No, the whole world operates in Central Time.
That's like saying Zulu time, dude. Like, who did you ever meet that actually knew Zulu time?
No one.
Zulu is 7 hours ahead of me.
We should all use Zulu, but no one does. Like,
yeah.
Let me see. What would that be? 20. No.
You're just dragging this out.
They're
just waiting for the deck. That's all they want.
0130.
It'd be tomorrow. That's when it is.
All right.
Tomorrow.
Well, that's it for us. We love you guys. We appreciate you being here, and we will catch you next Thursday.
All right. Later, everybody. Have fun.